Hi and welcome to the module number 2. The topic of this module will be understanding entrepreneurship in agriculture, and we are going to analyze more what is entrepreneurship through this lesson number 1. So let's start from the introduction. What does it take to be entrepreneurial, and how do entrepreneurial local producers, farmers, small farmers, smart farmers as well respond to the current changing agriculture environment? So today the aim of this lesson is to provide you a better understanding of the concept and also the practice of entrepreneurship. So we are going to analyze the theoretical part in order to increase the knowledge about the concept of entrepreneurship and to understand better what kind of skills do we need to become entrepreneur, and also some example that give you a better focus about the topic. And farmers, local producers, and sustainable agriculture business owners will achieve more knowledge to start building different tools and skills in order to adapt the entrepreneurial spirit. It's quite common to hear about the terms of entrepreneurship and entrepreneur. So let's try to better understand these definitions. When we talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about opportunities for which the marketable needs exist nowadays, and why we need to understand the needs in the market, because we are going to introduce an innovative product or services that will help the market and the world of agriculture as well. So when we talk about the entrepreneurship, we are talking about a process, an entire process by which individuals try to reach more opportunities, but without regard the resources they are currently controlling. And when we talk about entrepreneur, we are more focused about the qualities, the characteristics, the features about a person. So an entrepreneur needs to be a determined and creative leader, because he's always looking for opportunities, innovative ideas all the time in order to improve and expand its business. So entrepreneurs are people who enjoy to calculate risk, and they also assume responsibility for profits and also losses, because of course you can achieve a profit, but maybe you are also aware that you can lose something during the entire process of entrepreneurship. So if we want to consider farmers as entrepreneurs, we absolutely first of all have to assume that small-scale farmers, local producers, agricultural business owners have shown a crucial ability to meet all the consumer demands, and they have tried to be more innovative as much as possible. But how did they make this possible? Because they always are trying new crops and cultivars. They are looking for alternative technologies in order to increase the productivities and to diversify the production. And as a consequence, they are reducing the risk and they are increasing their profits, because this is the final aim and the final intent of their business. So if you are a farmer and you like to become an entrepreneur, you absolutely need to focus on 3 key areas that are very important in order to create a necessary ecosystem for you to become entrepreneur. Let's start from the first one, entrepreneurship skills. The government, private institutions need to encourage you in order to increase your knowledge about the world of entrepreneurship, but regarding the topic of the agriculture in a absolutely in a sustainable way. So you need also to understand what are your potentialities, what kind of skills do you need in order to create an effective communication with people surrounding you, and also try to create partnership, try to know more people surrounding you that are sharing your dreams and your values in order to understand which kind of skills do they have that I don't have, for example, and how can I improve myself in order to become a real entrepreneur. Second, IT marketing infrastructure. So it's very crucial again to understand what kind of marketing strategies do I need in order to increase the profit of my business, and also what kind of alternative technologies do we have in the current society. So try to again increase your knowledge regarding this topic and to read more magazines, to attend more events regarding farmers, small-scale farmers, and also entrepreneurs. Third point is law and regulation. So try again to understand which kind of laws and regulations are in your country in order to understand more how can these laws or regulation help you in order to achieve your final aim to create your business, because sometimes some governments are more helpful to understand, to try to let you know, understand better about the business in a practical way. So, for example, they can help you to create a business plan, even if you never have created one. So this could help you try to understand what kind of law regulation are helpful for your business. So being an entrepreneur is a way of life and a way of looking at the world, because farmer entrepreneurs are enjoying their independence, their freedom, but at the same time, even if they are the ones who decide for themselves, they decide what to do and when to do it, even if these, they are also immediately accountable for the outcomes, good or bad, that are coming from their decision. So it's very important also knowing that entrepreneurs have to assume risk deriving from their responsibilities and also deriving from the work pressure, for example. So they are only a part of a larger collection of people and a dynamic environment, and these people are including, for example, other farmers, suppliers, traders, transporters, processors. Each of them has an important role to play in the value chain. So if you want to become an entrepreneur, you have to understand that you will never be alone and that you have to face this kind of work pressure as well. So to ensure that business develop and adapt in response to changes coming from uncertainty, local producer and farmers, entrepreneurs have different abilities, and they try to adapt these changes, to adapt to these changes in a different ways that we are discovering later on. But let's try to understand, what do we mean when we talk about uncertainty? We mean weather, economy, social environment, and political environment. So, for example, weather sometimes doesn't help your cultivate crops, or for example doesn't help your farm, so you need to also assume that kind of risk. For example, economy, if we are talking about the management of money, you need to understand in a very deeply way how to coordinate yourself, the people surrounding you, day by day, month by month, or even during an entire year, to manage your money in the best way as much as possible. The social environment and the political one also are very crucial for you, because you need to be surrounded by people who believe in you, believe in your values, and never to focus yourself on negative effects, because you are also and sometimes in a world work pressure. So it's very important to be surrounded by people that are always believing in you. And political environment as well, because it's very important also to attend some events regarding the world of agriculture and be surrounded by people that can be your partnership in the future. So try again to ensure that business develop and adapt in response to these changes that are coming from uncertainty. Farmers, entrepreneurs need to control all the time what has to be done, when, and in what order. So trying to create day-to-day tasks in order to have an important role in the value chain, and they have also to live with high level of responsibility and assuming the risk of failure, as we have said before. And especially last but not least, they have to learn by doing, because under pressure from stakeholders, try to solving problems, experimenting, sizing new opportunities, and learning by competitors from competitors is very helpful. In order to understand entrepreneurship in the context of sustainability, we have to mention that farmers, local producers, sustainable agriculture business owners have to manage their businesses as long-term and in a sustainable way. What do we mean by saying that they have to work in a sustainable way? Because they should produce food and other products indefinitely without damaging the natural resources on which they depend. So try to respect the environment, and the sustainable land use would recompense farmers for taking care of landscape and the environment. So some examples of sustainability in agriculture are the following. If you are a farmer entrepreneur, you have to reinvest profits in soil fertility and conserve natural resources. Another example of working in a sustainable way is to adopt appropriate technologies, alternative technologies, in order to visualize your farm, your cultivates as a business and organize all the details that you might be missing. And last but not least is to diversify production for local and domestic markets, helping the environment also in a local way. So now that the module is completed, let's go through the summary. We have seen that small-scale farming, local producers, and sustainable agriculture business owners need to increase their knowledge and their skills about the topic of entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is a key factor for the survival of the increasingly complex global economy they are currently living. And an entrepreneur farmer has shown that has capacity and the ability to take advantage of all the opportunities around himself or herself. For example, opportunities coming from alternative technologies or opportunities coming from some kind of partnership that maybe you will find during some events regarding the topic of the agricultural economy, for example. And small-scale farmers often have these kind of entrepreneurial skills, but sometimes they don't know to have them. So it's very important also the entrepreneurial training that needs to work on motivation. So all the farmers, local producers, and sustainable agriculture business owners need to understand their potentialities in order to let their businesses grow. And here is the end of the module. So thank you.